Welcome to Champions Mojo. Join us for conversations that inspire and empower you as an adult athlete, fitness enthusiast, or master swimmer. Our goal is to make each episode insightful and inspirational and to discover what it takes to build or keep a life of personal excellence. I'm your host, Kelly Pallas, and we're here to champion you. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Champions Mojo podcast. I am your host, Kelly Pallas, and as usual, I am with my co-host, Maria Parker. Hey, Maria.
Hey, Kelly. It's great to be with you here today.
Yes, and Maria, this is a special edition of Champions Mojo from the pool deck, and we have a great interview for you today. It's brief, it's short, but it's powerful.
Yeah. I wasn't there, but I was able to listen to the interview and some great takeaways.
Yep, we hope you'll stick around and catch the takeaways. And here we go. All right, I'm doing an on-deck interview with Allison Hayden of the St. Pete Masters. And Allison and I have been swimming in the same LMSC for many years, and I've always admired her swimming. She can swim basically anything, but is especially known for being a 200 flyer, great middle distance freestyler. She's a multiple-time national champion. So we are in North Charleston at the short course meters meet in December of 2024. So Allison, how was your meet?
It was pretty good considering swimming 8 events in 2 days, a lot of them back to back with like 5 minutes rest. I'm happy with what I could do. So
every time I looked up, you were swimming, which I did not do 8 events, but I've heard a rumor you're going to get high point, which my husband is getting high point too. So you people who did 8 events, that's a lot. So talk to us about how you're training right now in this part of the season and what might be up for you for 2025.
training's kind of hard right now as I summer up in Maine, and being December, for some odd reason, I'm still up in Maine, and training up there is pretty much by myself, and it's a mental battle day to day. I've been swimming since I was 4 years old, so I'm pretty used to the mental game of swimming, and I like to push myself, and I know how to do it. I look forward to getting back to Florida so I can draft off some people, get my mind a rest.
Yeah, Mark and I call that getting on the conveyor belt when you have a group to swim with. But talk to us about winning the battle of training alone. So this would be great. A lot of our listeners do have to train alone. How do you motivate yourself, and how many times a week, and how much yardage? Because I think training alone is something that a lot of masters run into, but it's just hard to kind of execute.
Yeah, well, I generally shoot for the feeling I get after the workout, the endorphins, just feeling proud that you got in, etc. It does take me about 5 to 10 minutes to get in. I sit there and wonder why I'm doing this. I have to remind myself, and more or less when I get through the warm-up, I'm all right. And being an experienced swimmer, I know what I need to do. My butterfly's a little bit off now, and I know exactly why, because I haven't been doing a lot of butterfly. And once I get in that groove and several repetitions, of doing 50s butterfly on a pretty hard interval, that makes a good 200 fly. Training-wise, I try and hit it 5 times a week, about 4,000 yards. I'm very fortunate. I have a pool that is not used very much. I always have my own lane.
Oh, that is one of the beauties of training alone.
But when I say I train alone, I am alone.
Like the whole pool to yourself?
Yeah.
I love it. So talk about your experience. I love knowing that you did swim in college at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, and you've had a brush with greatness. Like Todd DeSorbo was your fellow coach. Tell us your connection to that.
He was actually a fellow swimmer behind me a couple of years.
Okay, so Todd's a little younger than you, but he was a fellow swimmer behind you?
Yeah, I just seen that name when he became like the Olympic coach. I'm like, wow, isn't that's special? That was my friend in college many years ago.
Yeah, that's really cool. So UNC Wilmington, it's a smaller school, but has a lot of great pedigree. I mean, a lot of great coaches come out of it. And you obviously, are one of their legends, I've heard. That's what I've heard. What was your transition like from college swimmer to master swimmer?
after college, I became a professional triathlete. I found a passion for open water swimming, and it was a lot easier for me. So I fell into that realm of like doing triathlons, and I think it was about 18 years, and never really did any master swimming until that career was done. And I had a second college career at age 34, 35.
Whoa, tell us about that.
One of my best friends, Kyle Sage, he was my triathlon coach. He began a program at St. Leo College, which is just north of Tampa. And to become a college team, you have to start as a club team. And I was living in the area. We were neighbors because he was my triathlon coach. And I was basically like, what's next? And he's like, come be a swimmer on the team. And that was kind of a second college career. After the triathlon training, I'm like, oh, swimming's a lot easier. I don't have to bike. I don't have to run. And I was doing these insane workouts, just going in, doing repeat thousands day in, day out.
With the college team. How old were you at this point?
34.
So was it you were swimming with the college club team, or did you have any NCAA eligibility left, or what was the?
Oh, no eligibility left. I burnt that out at Wilmington. I was basically helping them coach, and I just get in the water and swim.
And when you swam with those college kids, did it kind of amp your swimming up?
It did. It made me realize, like, after doing triathlon, and that was a very difficult sport, very difficult time of life, very competitive, and it's hard to put into words. But that second college career fueled me up. I was back doing my college times.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. And in college, what were your best events?
500 and 1,000 mile at championship meets.
Nice. Okay. So you went to UNC Wilmington to study marine biology, right? Yeah. And then tell us about where that education took you in your career.
I graduated, ended up working a few years down in the Everglades National Park. After that, I got involved in the environmental field, working with marine mammals. Took a job with the oil company, working with compliance, which was interesting because this was after my triathlon career. When I became a triathlete, I was a triathlete. That's all I did. So working with the oil company, I worked on a ship. I was out at sea for 1 month, and I was on land for 1 month.
Wow.
So that was a very different lifestyle. I did that for about 8 years, and I felt off kilter. Like, I have my work friends, and I come on land, and I'm like, what do I do? It was hard to keep up relationships and friendships. And swimming-wise, we did have a little tiny pool in the ship, and I used to tie myself up and just
do a resistance band?
Swim for hours on it.
No way. You had a little pool on the ship and you swam on a resistance course.
And when I worked very long days, 12 to 14-hour days, and at least probably 2 to 3 times a day when I was having stress relief, I'd just go get in the pool, strap the band on.
That is so cool.
And it was a weight room, and I got pretty buff because
you're still pretty buff.
If I wasn't working, I was working out and eating a lot.
Okay, so how did you end up at St. Pete Masters, and tell us about that?
Well, right after college, I did an internship with the state of Florida, which is right there by North Shore Pool where the St. Pete Masters are. And I would go swim at lunchtime, and I just met all these amazing people. And just like eventually, I think it was 2020, I'm like, I want to get back into Masters. So I moved down there. I knew it was a good community from triathlon and from the swimming during that time.
So you moved back down there from where?
I was in New Jersey. That's a whole nother story.
Okay.
So where my boyfriend's from. So I was up there because with my job, I could live anywhere. So I did a lot of moving around.
That's nice. Take advantage of that. So you also did a lot of recent open water swimming with St. Pete, right? In the last 10 years?
Yes. I want to say it was like 2014. I started like trying my hand out in open water swimming again. Then got a little fanatic. I was going all over everywhere, and I found the 10K, dude. That's my event. I enjoy it.
Wait, 10K in open water is your event?
If I have to pick an event, that's the event I'd pick. I'm pretty good at it. It gives me time to think, and I don't know. I enjoy it.
See, my husband, Mark, does a lot of recruiting of people that he thinks I should interview. So he came home from this meet yesterday morning. He's like, you need to interview Allison Hayden. She swam a 10K in an hour and 36 minutes. And I'm like, wait, what? So tell us about your fastest 10K, and was it really an hour and 36 minutes? And we're like, maybe it was a downriver fast swim, which wouldn't be unheard of.
That's a little bit off. I would say it was my best 10K is about 2 hours and 17 minutes.
That's still very
If you
fast.
know open water swimming, the Olympians are the women prior are about 2 hours, a little bit under. But thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. But yeah, that's really great. So what was your favorite 10K that you've done?
I've been going back and doing this one in Barbados for about the last 7 years. There was a hiatus after COVID, like a year or two. But yeah, I go back every year that I can. There's a group called the Jersey Girls, and it started about, I'd say like 5 or 6 people, and we've grown to about 36 approximately people.
Okay, sounds like they're getting ready to give you your High Point Award. We're wrapping up the meet here. We got the guy in the background on the film. So thank you so much for spending the time with me, and look forward to seeing you around. Congratulations on all you've done.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Stay tuned for the takeaways.
Hey there, fellow swimmers and water enthusiasts. Dive into the pool knowing you can confidently remove the chlorine after you swim with TriSwim. This gentle chlorine out hair and body care line is the perfect addition to your post-swim routine. Say goodbye to the dry, itchy scalp and say hello to tropical scents and moisturized hair and body. Made with botanicals, proteins, and aloe, this product will leave your hair and skin strong and healthy. TriSwim is the official chlorine out personal care sponsor for Master Swimming. Head over to sbrsportsinc.com and use code MOJO23 for 23% off TriSwim today.
And now, the takeaways.
All right, so the takeaways for Allison Hayden. What a great interview. Sorry I had to cut that off a little short, but she was being called to go receive her High Point Award for the meet. That's why she swam. Yeah, she swam so many events, but she got the High Point Award. And we're going to talk about how interesting Allison is. But as soon as the interview was over, she said, "Oh, I should have told you I'm also an oyster farmer," which I thought it was so interesting. So what was your first or main takeaway?
I'm going to do the main one and then like you a little sub one. But the main thing is I loved her. How does she trade alone? She just remembers how she's going to feel when it's all over. And also I liked what she said, and this is so true. If you have to do something hard, once you get started, she's fine. It's just like getting in the pool that's hard, or getting in the water that's hard. So that's a good reminder. Like, oh, I don't want to train alone. It's going to be so worried, blah, blah, blah. Just make yourself start, and then it'll be fine when you're working out, and you'll feel great when it's over. And then my sub thing is, I love how this woman has lived an unusual life and has followed her interests and her dreams, and she's walked to the beat of her own drummer. And that's very inspirational to me.
That is very inspirational. I really love that when people they live their passion. She said, I got a little fanatical. I went all over the place doing open water swims. Good for you. Yes, and I love that. She's not going to get to the end of her life and say, boy, I wish I'd have done this, or I wish I'd have done that. She did a lot of it.
Right. She's done it all.
You and I love to look at what is the champion's mojo? What is the secret sauce? And this, again, demonstrates, because we both coach people. We coach people that want to be high performers. And it really comes down to, you got to do those things that are hard. You've got to do those things that other people don't want to do. And here she is. She's on a ship for a month. And she gets in a little pool on a ship and swims on a resistance cord or a band. And so it's just like that discipline, that willingness to do something that other people aren't willing to do. So I love that. And to get in, she's in Maine. It's the winter. She's cold. Is it really fun to get out of bed and go all the way down to the pool and swim by yourself? but she's disciplined. So I love that she's willing to do those things maybe that other people don't want to do. And then that reflects very successfully on her swimming. So
Yeah, she's done it. She's done it her whole life. And I think I have to remind myself, keep doing those hard things. Keep on. Don't rest on your laurels. So yeah, absolutely. She's a lifetime champion.
Yeah, and I don't think I even said her age the whole time, but she's 53. So she's still got a long way to go, but she's definitely at an age where she's still killing it, and some people aren't at that age. So I love it.
Me too. Love you,
All right,
Kelly.
Maria, thanks for another great one. Love you.
Right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Champions Mojo podcast. Did you enjoy the show? We'd be grateful if you would leave us a 5-star review on iTunes to help others find us. And we'd also love to hear from you. We're on all social media platforms, or you can reach us at championsmojo.com.